in the APAC region. This is going to be a spicy one. There's no way around it.
It really is. I mean, a quarter of the entire crowd alone are chanting for Totem Esports, possibly even half back there as well. They've got so much support behind them, and the same can't be said for Rival. They've got a few fans dotted around here and there, but this is setting up for it to be a Reply Totem win if you're listening to the crowd.
When you've got that much support behind you and everything you do is cheered upon, it's got to count for something. For Rival Esports, certainly a tough one ahead of them. For Milk Rio going back as far as the 2019 World Finals, where he gained second place with Animal Champuru, just coming shy of that Nova Esports victory. Of course, for him today, I'm sure many memories coming back to mind as well, that it was not so victorious going back to 2020, where they exited in the quarterfinal stages as Jupiter before they rebranded to Zeta Vision. That was his last World Finals appearance. So to join this squad, for those that have got their first World Finals appearance here today, he has the most experience.
Yeah, but he's an absolute character as well. When he was walking out just now, I'm sure you guys saw it as well. He was like doing some really odd walkout, a lot of energy behind that man, and that alone can motivate a team in itself. When you've got the front man, and I hate to mention them here, Tribe Gaming, when Zulan starts stepping up, the whole team does as well, and that might be the same for Rival Esports with Milk Rio. But Reply Totem, let's focus down on this roster. We've talked about them a lot already. Maru, iKaos, and Mori, three incredible players and absolute land demons.
For iKaos as well, this will be his 5th World Finals. And no surprises there that his favorite brawler is Rico, because that is really one that I feel like Rival Esports might be looking to ban. And if they're not, they probably should be, because it's one of those select picks that you've just really got to keep your eye on. He finds every single angle imaginable. For Maru, this is their 4th World Finals. Also, they are very accomplished in this position and very comfortable as well. Going into the LCQ, big question marks as to how they were going to be faring, in all honesty. Just really looking quite bleak. They've just been really taking it to the next level ever since then, and they've kind of yet to slow down in that regard. That's a scary prospect for Rival Esports.
And a big one for the caster predictions as well. I believe it's only Arc or Uber who can go flawless today and yesterday, and they have differing opinions. Arc is obviously going for the Reply Totem side with the rest of the casters and the public. But Uber staying firm with his Rival Esports pick that he's been singing the praises of all weekend long.
There is a lot of tense feeling here on the casting distance, I'm sure, no doubt, there on the player podiums. The crowd setting themselves in for what is set to be an absolute spectacle. The Reply Totem fans, they're about to blow the roof off this arena.
Yeah, we can hope for just that. Reply Totem settling in, and the same with Rival Esports. Neither side looking too nervous at the moment, but when the gameplay starts, I'm sure things do start to change. A couple mistakes here and there can definitely make that mentality waver just a little bit, and the slightest mistake will cost you the team, will cost your team a World Finals semi-final. In terms of predictions, it was 63% to Reply Totem, 37% to Rival Esports, so not that far apart. But we're starting things off in center stage in Brawl.
I think, to be honest, not an unfair prediction, actually, for Rival Esports. I feel like they've got a lot to show, and no doubt will dig deep when it comes to these drafts. Quite a balanced one, I feel. As we go into center stage, the band's already in for Reply Totem, the Stu, the Nita, and the Otis. The Rival Esports, they do not want the Kenji or the Frank or the Mo. I think we've kind of seen far too much of Kenji slipping through this weekend, so I don't mind it at all. Certainly though, the Rico is open with the Vision gear as well. We know it's going to be a sort of Reply Totem idea. The Clancy, first pick. I kind of prefer the Surge myself, to be completely honest, in this scenario. Certainly for the side of Reply Totem, they're looking to have that kind of tank counter in play. Gale as well, another big one open here. You see, yeah, I would kind of side more so with that idea.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, they're two very similar brawls if you think about it, with the leveling up mechanics. Once you get to level 3 for Surge and obviously level 3 for Clancy, you're going to be playing on pretty level playing fields. But we do see the Squeak roll in after that as well. With the Fat Splatter, you're able to kind of slow things down, scout out the bush, and see where opponents are if they do choose to walk through this grassy area. But as you said, there is the Rico for Reply Totem, and something that iKaos is very familiar with.
Yeah, it's a solid pick. And the question now is, do Reply Totem bring in something tanky? Because they would be doing it into the eye of the Surge. The Squeak would be able to shut down that left or right-hand side and just allow Rival Esports to really focus their attention entirely on that side and see the slip through. They're going to go with Rosa. That is a daring choice, but in the hands of Reply Totem, they do play some fantastic tanks. I was kind of surprised it wasn't the El Primo myself.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I mean, with Maru on that brawler, you never know what's going to happen. But Rosa, you know, pretty similar. You're going to be able to play the kind of short-range brawls and have the shield to be able to walk in as many goals as you'd like. But over the other side, we still have one pick left for Rival Esports. It's going to have to be a good one to be able to counteract these tanks in this absolutely amazingly well-rounded roster that Reply Totem have brought to the table. But it is going to be Gale, a bit of a tank counter in there as well. Add that to the Surge, and Rosa's going to be having a hard time.
I love it. I really do love it. You know, Gale was wide open from the beginning, but there was no reason to necessarily go into picking it. But that Rosa was not kind for Reply Totem in the way that the coin toss landed with things. It just left a good counter option for Rival. Now that you've got the Surge and the Gale into that Rosa pick, I feel like the Clancy needs to really pop off early on, try to get those stacks as quickly as possible, get the additional range, the additional speed, and of course that additional shot factor in the thick of things. The gadget there, the left-hand side, already making some good work of Reply Totem, but Maru has pushed forwards. A good gadget there from Melty, but look at that slow. The unfriendly pushes of the Rosa just left Rival Esports so susceptible to damage. And look at this, pushing the ball forwards, and he's taken on a great twister, and Maru can't get the ball.
What a stop, but now that's gone, and Melty is back, still level 1, passed the ball to himself, a little bit of a mistake in there as well, wasting some ammo, and Maru will clean that up quite nicely. Not too much pushback from Rival so far, as Reply Totem seems to have all control of the map. A super available over the right-hand side from Mori, and already leveled up once as well. Not the best of starts for Rival Esports, and things need to change. What a super from Chaos! We said watch out for it, and this is why! They get the ball.
Look at this! A complete and utter T1, but it should be a straight, easy walkthrough. Maru will score it. Reply Totem making light work in the first minute.
Melty needs to get these levels up and get going because Mori's already doing just that, and Maru decimating the opponents along with IKEOS. Slow comes through with the unfriendly bushes. Vertical jump from Melty, which was baited out by Maru, who now gets hypercharged and powers on. Surely going to be able to get the kill, the pass up, and that is going to be game 1 to Totem.
Very strong opening stuff from Reply Totem. They got a game, and they've got the crowd, most importantly, firmly behind them. Let's see whether the Rival Esports can build up some kind of a response here. They start to have something more of a back and forth. It looked a little bit too easy. We said coming in, to be honest, that Chaos should really have been shut down on that Rico pick. Rival Esports left it wide open, and they're probably regretting that right now.
Pushed for just that. Rival Esports needs to start picking things up. Into the game we go once more. Shu picks up the left-hand side, pretty much already better than the last one. Slow in there as well. Pass to Melty, might be able to get a goal. Opening for Milcreo, and this should surely be a walk-in. It's the Clancy respawn. Oh! He stops it!
Maori!
What a defense from Maori. Beautiful stuff, and Rival Esports started better, but still nothing back from it.
The Classy just decimated the opportunity, and now the ball pushed back, and it's Rival Esports that have got to defend this. Maru going in with a nice super at the perfect time for it. He gets Milgrio. He might be in a good spot, but Shu coming in should clear that one up. Maori and IKEOS, though, can scrutinize this right-hand side, keep Shu low, and don't feed anything more into it. You do not want to get your Gale having hypercharge on that defense.
Well, Super comes in with Squeak and a dash away from... Oh, great knockback, though, from the Gale. Pushes him straight onto that slowing effect of the super. Twist used by Shu to stop him going for him, but IKEOS leads up shop. Maru's there for the pass to the mid. Or goes it himself, and Totem take another goal.
The thumbs up from IKEOS. It's a rarity in Brawl Esports, let's be honest. But for Reply Totem, they've yet to drop the ball. Mario pushing forwards, gets that landed in his lap, getting a lot of scrutiny and fine. Shu taking care of the pass, is perfect, but the takedown is there. Melty came in clutch, and now has got an opportunity to be able to get this super shot, and he doesn't fail to miss. He gets the angle and secures it.
This is what Rival Esports need to do, take advantage of the security that Reply Totem think they have, which they do not. Great super from Chaos, so once more brings Milcreo so low, and might be another chance for Reply Totem to wrap up the set just as quick as this. Melty has to jump back to evade Maru, but still the rest of the team's there. Wanted to go for the trick shot, but thought better of it in the end.
Melty's gonna go for the hypercharge, but not the best of times. He was not on the max stack side of things. And it's meant that it was kind of depleted somewhat. Fly Totem now getting themselves geared up. They know they've got 15 seconds before these walls come down. They want to stay firm and get a grasp of the situation. Chaos is low here, got to heal up somewhat in these final seconds. As Rival Esports respawning back in, they know they've got a big task on their hand. Maru's going to go early. There's a beautiful hypercharge there from Shu, and Rival Esports are going to be running away towards the goal.
Surely going to be sliding this one in. Doesn't have the ammo to do it. Baits out the super from Maru there as well. But the rest of Rival Esports joining Shu up top. Milkreo can't grab the ball, and Maru might be able to play this one back into the hands of his teammates. Back safely into the corner, and a Rival Esports chance quickly dissipated.
Melty is lurking. His full stacks on that surge. Maori low on the right-hand side. Maru with the full HP of that Rosa pick, trying to force things back, but like Chaos falls, Maori's weak and weary. It's going to be down to Maru on this left-hand side, and it's not going to be enough. Maori quickly taken care of. Chaos tried his best, but it wasn't enough. And Rival Esports put one on the board.
Answering back in the best way. Some more confidence coming through from Rival Esports, but Reply Totem still seem to me at least in control. The map was pretty much covered by them for the entirety, but a couple breakaway goals for Rival Esports bring it back even in set one.
Again, that residue on the left-hand side, forcing Totem to the right. Now Chaos back, and Friendly Bush is connecting there with Shu as well. There's Melt in that right. Milkreo, a second gadget there from Maru as well, and it gets an equal effect. Will stop the healing, most importantly, as well. On the side of Rival, Melty did well on that right-hand side. And it's Maori now who's weak, and like Chaos pushing the ball forwards. I think it's the right play here. Like Chaos just trying to get that pinch between himself and Maori to get Melty, who survives on 76 HP.
Not going to get the kills as Mori and Chaos both survive. Maru coming through now, and Melty has to jump on him, but that might be a waste, and that's surely level 3 gone. But he picks up the left-hand side and stops the pass through. Shu's there to defend, but Maori almost level 3 in under a minute. Just a few more shots and he'll be at that stage, evading a few shots from Surge now, but scouted out by Shu eventually.
Milkreo has the chance there to use another gadget, but he's holding back for now. Shu falls, now the super connects, but he doesn't really find much of the Chaos. He walks into it, if anything, 68 HP for Milkreo, and Totem just gonna slow down the pace yet again. They want to make sure they land the mark as Maori now max stacks on this Classy, and he's dangerous, as is Chaos. Hypercharge going in, he finds one. Milkreo's the second ball, and it's a complete team wipe for Reply Totem. A goal, and only 1 minute remaining.
Chaos does the job once more, but here comes the hypercharge from Melty. Might be able to find a few connections. One available from Maru as well, and Friendly Bush is used, slowing a couple of the Rival members in their tracks. 55 seconds to get the job done. Melty slowed down by the hypercharge of Rosa. Now the super comes through from Mori in this level 3, providing so much value.
Melty under scrutiny. Maru comes in at the perfect time. Oh, what a pitch between Maru and Chaos. Shu, a nice knockback, going to buy some valuable time, but it is Rival that are still behind. They've got to get out of this spawn. They've got to get out of the map, get some takedowns on the goal. In 30 seconds, it's a lot to ask.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it. Super going to be missed there on the left-hand side from Milkreo too. They need to push out on Maru, who's there waiting for them. Twister Use blocks up that avenue, but Chaos picks up the mid. Now leaves it in a 2v3, and Shu and Milkreo have got a lot of work to do, especially with Maru straight in the face like this. 14 seconds. I just don't see how this is possible for Rival Esports, but Shu's going to try and fail. Melty the last option with level 3, but it's not going to be enough as Reply Totem secure the first set.
The air is electric. Reply Totem fans rejoice for the first set in the bank. Rival Esports just didn't really seem too connected in that instance in Brawl Ball. They just felt like they were behind for the majority of things. A couple of breakaway goals in that second game, but an important set to win for Reply Totem. That early momentum is surely going to be very much now in their favor. A lovely shutdown there from Maori. That Clancy pick really proved to be a valuable defensive measure for them. But a lot of the time, for me, it was all about that control, and Chaos really finding that element with that Rico pick. Kept the pressure on time and time again. A couple of instances there, of course, where Rival had their moments, but Reply Totem, for me, looked like the stronger of the two in that first set.
Yeah, they really did. They had so much control, and every time Chaos got a hypercharge, Rival Esports members were dropping like flies. Just absolute dominance. And, you know, I'm sure they probably got heroes, but we warned them about it. And I'm sure they're well aware themselves. Big DPS, big kills out of Reply Totem. And Rival Esports not able to match that same energy, as they were pretty much pinned in the spawn for the majority.
I mean, Chaos got 2 kills more than the entirety of Rival Esports' kills combined. That says to me a big story. 354 HP as well. I mean, literally coming into the match, said, you got to ban Enrico if you're looking down the barrel of Chaos. And look at that. The results spoke for themselves. I mean, I could shout a bit louder, but I don't know whether it will help.
Yeah, I think they kind of probably well aware of the Chaos Rico, but maybe just didn't take it into account, thought they could handle it, and I'm sure they'll be thinking better of that idea now. We're going on to Kaboom Canyon in Heist as the second set. Will Totem extend their lead, or will Rival Esports close that gap and make it 1-1? Heist is the game mode we will be doing it on, so we'll see if that aggression from Reply Totem is going to remain and win them this second set.
Certainly, for me, a tough game mode to have as your second set. For one that you've got in the bag already on the side of Reply Totem. You can get a bit overzealous, a bit overconfident. Heist can be brutal. The bans being the Bell, the Crow, and the Amber. I like that Crow ban, I've got to say. The Mo, the Angelo, and now the Clancy coming in as the first pick from Reply Totem. The Colette ban, love that as well. 6 individual brawlers out of the mix. Clancy could be quite risky, it must be said. I think a good deterrent though, however, of the Chuck potential. That might be where they're thinking with that idea to have something solid on a defense, but certainly, if you're left in that lower stage of Clancy, you really are a bit of a sitting duck and open to a lot of ranged ideas. Colt, for me especially, a big heavy hitter. Gale jump pad strat into the middle of the map, potentially here coming through, and a good heavy tank counter for Rival Esports. Don't know whether I'm a massive fan of it myself.
Yeah, I'm not loving that from Rival Esports, I will say. The Lola adding to it as well, going to be able to bring some good DPS and the ability to tank some shots from the Clancy as well with that ego and freeze frame if that's what they choose to go with. But the Gale, yeah, I'm with you. I'm not feeling it too much. It's going to work. It's fine. It's good against tanks. It's a good preventative measure. But Reply Totem still have a long way to go through their draft, and they can just pivot off any ideas they wanted to go with tanks. They're going to go with the Piper, and I mean, that's going to be pretty good against the Gale. Once the ego's down, Lola might have some legs, but in the early game, Piper's going to thrive.
Tough to play into the Lola though as well with the ego. Certainly if Reply Totem can break that mid early on, and that Lola's going to have a great time with the vision gear, obviously, as a result of that pick from the side of Rival Esports. So I think for the side of Reply Totem, they're going to want to open up as much as possible, but with Kenji now,
into the game,
it's going to be very hard to make it work. I mean, certainly, I think a couple of these brawlers maybe counteracting one another. That's a brawl that I much prefer. I'm starting to side more with Rival Esports here. I think that Melody pick was the one that maybe Reply Totem should have considered a bit more. We haven't seen the best of win rates for Kenji on Heist. And it's one of those brawlers that, yes, it is exceptionally good, but is the best mode for it on Heist.
Yeah, well, it kind of seems like Reply Totem going to be banking on the Kenji, assassinate a lot of these brawls and getting the real kind of tickle-down damage that Piper's going to do to the safe, whereas Rival Esports have the Melody available and can go to that safe and get damage along with the Lola as well. Already, Melty on 800 HP and Mori getting some good shots towards those stacks. Maru walking in a straight line towards the safe and Milk Rail alike and gets a bit of damage in. Gadget going to be used, but Melody should be there to be able to assist. Super used, gets some good shots and actually picks up the kill too.
Staying in position for Maru, so important, and healing up now, allowing Chaos to get some good taps from the mid onto the safe. Rival Esports trying to scoot on through on that right-hand side. Ashu just juking, trying to connect with the safe. Now finally on it. The damage coming through. Just a little bit though, just 10%, but not done yet. Now Milkrow, now Melty. This is starting to flow. Maru needs to come back in this scenario.
Yeah, I love the base race idea from Rival Esports. Just a shame for them that the Melody couldn't live a little bit longer with the help from the Gadget. Nice push back there, gets damage on both Mori and Maru. Chaos, the only one healthy, and here come Rival. Big damage rolling down. Shu needs a super to be able to add some to the mix, but Lola does enough herself. Good little knockback there with the auto-aimer of Chaos. And Shu shouldn't be far off some more aggression with only 39 on the safe. This could be done with one more Rival push.
Totem fans are starting to rise up. It might be enough. Let's see. Chaos needs to tap here realistically here. Shu coming in with a nice amount of HP, decimated by the bombs that Chaos is leaving. But look at the damage raining down. The Reply Totem safe is on 18 HP. They need to go on the aggressive, but they've got to clear up these scrap first. Melty down to 800 HP. Maru going on the aggressive. There's so much more still needing to be done.
There goes Shu again. No gadgets left to just get taken down. A lot more needs to be done on the rival esports safe. Melty just launch pad and up, says goodbye to Maru. Drags him back, gives a little bit of time for his teammates to come back into this mid. But at the moment, they're not able to do so. Shu needs a super, needs that escape route, needs to be able to get up the map. But at the moment, no one on Totem's feeding it.
30 seconds. Oh. This needs to be very calculated for Totem. They cannot drop a beat here. One takedown, Shu low on the right-hand side. They've got to find him. They've got to get on their safe, get the damage they need. Milgrio is still staying on the left-hand side. It's being a menace here. At the moment, rival esports are in a fantastic spot, but they've got to hold firm on this defense.
Yeah, I mean, 14 seconds. Shu was thinking about going in, but thought better of it in the end. Now he goes in to try and stop them and bring them back. Does just that. 8 seconds on the clock. I don't think they've got the time if all three of them are on the safe. Never mind, none of them. As Mori gets pushed back, and Chaos can't find anything. Rival esports take game 1 of Safe Zone.
Signs of life then for rival esports. The heart is still beating. And with this heart, there's the potential to bring back a set and level out the playing field. Let's see whether the Reply Totem have got what it takes to bring this set to even, because that was much, much better. The melody of Shu really was a problem and a thorn in their side.
Yeah, Gadget wasted by Maru there as he just kind of have trickle-down damage. Now Shu comes in, has some notes around him as well. Gadget used, gets a decent bit of damage. And kind of the flip of what we saw in the last one where Reply Totem started so strong. Maru really not having the best of times against Melty or Milkrio as they keep on kind of peppering down this shield that he does get. Now the pink comes in, Melody might be able to get a few shots and finish him off here. Gadget not going to be used just yet and does go down. Shu now has the super and rival esports firmly with a grip on mid.
Shu coming in yet again, but good stuff from Reply Totem, getting the job taken care of. The damage, though, still very much against them. They've yet to make a scratch on the rival esports safe. The scale pad is just keeping them on the defense, but Melty's low. Milgrio also, this could be the time to strike. But again, IKEA struggling against this low pick. It's really causing a problem. The Ego just taking a lot of these shots.
I mean, the fact that Shu can do this and just run up the map and try and escape does really nice job. Mori solo, he's going to choose to go for the save. Chaos jumps back, gets picked up as well, and Shu's still surviving, gets another, and rival esports running away with it. Maru goes down 2, and the damage pours in.
Phenomenal stuff from rival esports, who are just making this look very, very comfortable. Let's be honest, Maru goes in, but Shu still stays standing. They really are struggling to take care of business now. They've already got 9% damage. This is not good enough for Reply Totem.
Shu, super in hand once more, wants to go straight through the mid, and what can Chaos do? A couple more notes of damage on the safe, brings it down to 9, but Chaos starting to tap that safe. Now gets one on Melty too, opens up a bit of an avenue for Maru, who he wants to take. Mori, level 3 on the right, on the left-hand side, but Shu comes through, jukes a few shots beautifully. But he's just buying time for rival at this point. And with Kenji down, or at least up top, Melty has the hypercharge on the left, and this should be all rival.
Yeah, Melty now pops the hypercharge and pushing his way forwards, but getting tapped up big time by a cast. Shu still stays standing! And for rival esports, they gain back a set! And we've got a banger still on our hands!
The rival support waking up. The sound of them winning a set was enough to get going. We have a game on our hands as Reply Totem drop this second set of Kaboom Canyon to rival esports, and the score is now even. What started as a very dominant Reply Totem series is quickly gone the other way.
We were saying coming in, we weren't overly convinced the Reply Totem draft. It's very hard to keep up the aggression that you need and the consistency that you need when you've got that combination of that Gale jump pad. That's the melody for me, and Shu was the shining star, playing the objective, being an absolute menace, and no surprise there as to why he's got the most kills on the board. His teammate's pretty low actually for the most part. I mean, lower than anyone on the side of Reply Totem. But again, it's all about that objective play despite the high DPS there of Chaos. It wasn't enough.
Yeah, I was going to say commendable performance from Chaos there. 370 DPS with the sharpshooter of Piper. Really nice stuff from all members of Reply Totem, but as you say, Heist, one of the most objective-based game modes that we have in Brawl Stars, and Shu played that to perfection.
It really was wonderful, wasn't it? You know, he just kept Reply Totem on that back foot time and time again. And, you know, it's all well and good getting that first set in the bag, but when your second set is heist, you've got to go a little bit more on defensive. And this is not much of a better mode and map, let's be honest, to have. We're neck and neck, and we're going into Snake Prairie with Bounty. This is where the draft really is crucial. You've got to consider very heavily your bans for Buzz, for Bo, for Tara. So much vision potential here. Let's see, we've got,
well, you just named pretty much all the bans.
Yeah. The Gene and the Surge as well, I really quite like here as well. But, I mean, Shelly, Griff, there's still some big offenders open here. Certainly, for both sides. You've got to be so, so careful where you lurk in these bushes.
Yeah, I mean, the draft is what wins Snake Prairie. So, this set probably going to be decided before we even go into it. Mo is going to be picked up from Reply Totem, one of the best brawlers in the game at the moment, so they'll be pretty pleased that that has snuck through this ban phase. But there's so many things, as Ark said, to account for that have the vision potential that you've got to get rid of before Mo. Rival Esports will follow with their 2 picks shortly, but on Snake Prairie, it's so tough to draft right.
It really is. Very, very troublesome. Even at this top level, the best in the world will struggle, undoubtedly, on a map like Snake Prairie. The Bros are coming in for Rival. It's bold, it's early, however. Janet, I didn't like it when Elevate picked that in the 5th and final set. I can understand it here with the drop the base, getting a lot of information from your opposition for sure, but they trickle down, they decay over time. It's not gonna last forever, even with that additional gear to bring that gadget from 3 to 4. For Reply Totem, I wouldn't mind a Shelly here. Just be bold, get rid of that Rosa, get that knockback, and there it comes in. Love that for Reply Totem. They've got some options now.
Yeah, I think the Janet will work if they're in the lead. They need that early lead. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Some would say the worst brawler in the game right now, but might have some legs here.
I mean, for Snake Prairie, it does make a lot of sense. Able to get some damage output, but also heal your team at the same time. And the Rosa's going to want to dive into this. I mean, I don't necessarily mind it, but it is very bold. I mean, ultimately, the Mo going to be getting the most amount of information. So a lot of pressure certainly placed upon that player. And the vision gear that's going to be necessary to really get that information flow. Grom, again, the Watchtower gadget, makes a lot of sense, but when you're being rushed upon, is it really the brawler that you want to have on defense?
I mean, Rival are relying so heavily on all of their gadgets. When they run out, if they don't have the lead, I don't think they're going to get the lead back. Rosa with the unfriendly bushes, you know, the Watchtower from Grom and the drop the base from Janet is going to be make or break.
It's bold, it's dangerous, but this is the World Finals. Rival Esports really are putting a lot of faith in those gadgets. Let's see how they will fare already. The Watchtower on the right-hand side. But look at that, as quickly as that, Maori getting it taken care of. And the flank coming in. Rival do not have much of an idea where it's coming from, but Maori certainly has found themselves a target. Melty low, I guess with the pickup. The unfriendly bushes from Milk Rio gets the trade to the top left-hand side, and Rival have the lead.
But they've already used so many gadgets to get this early lead, and they're still going to continue going. I'm sure Maru probably going to be running that clay pigeon as well to get some long-range effect when he needs it. Maury going to get tapped up here by Melty though, and this Watchtower all the way in the spawn has now gone. Another one placed and unfriendly bushes used once more. Chaos thinks he's going to be able to win that match against Milcreo, which so far he is doing. Melty goes in with the Mo. Shield going to be used by Milcreo to survive, but does eventually go down, and the rest of them not in a good position either. Totem extend the lead to 4.
Double takedowns for Reply Totem. The unfriendly bushes there will not slow nearly enough to close the gap. And Maru going in, being sneaky, finding Milcreo, and a lovely gadget there with the clay pigeons to follow up, but just coming short as Shu finds Maori, bringing the total back a little bit more into Rival Esports' favor. Melty takes to the skies, showing his teammates where Maru is lurking, but again, that Rosa for Milcreo needs to stay far away from that.
Yeah, well, hypercharge ready to go for the Shelly. And I mean, they're down and they're placing drop the bases in the spawn and playing defensive. This is the issue with their comp. They can't go aggressive. Milcreo's going to have to be the front man here because who else at this point? Totem have so much to use here. The hypercharge and the shell shock from Shelly. The super from Chaos. Down goes Shu and the rest of them fall as well. Melty goes down as the last man on Rival. And Reply Totem team wipe to win game 1.
making Snake Prairie look easy. Chaos going in for style points, and we'll get a nice lead. Not that they even needed one on the side of Reply Totem. Wonderful stuff. And we said it coming in, Trav. When those gadgets were gone, Rival Esports were back up against the wall. Reply Totem did well to take advantage of that fact.
Yeah, real big issues for Rival Esports when on the defensive here. They need to be in those kind of aggressive positions with those gadgets being used and getting kills, otherwise it's going to be all downhill from here. They get the blue star again, but Chaos already flanking this right-hand side and no visibility on him just yet. These two brawlers are going to have a real tough time against him. Gadget used, but slowed down perfectly. Grom in the back left-hand corner. Chaos going to be out of reach of Milkrayo, but a good trade comes in, and the blue star and lead remain with Rival.
Maori and Chaos going to consider regrouping now, and they drop the base, taking care of quickly. Now the Watchtower will expose that right-hand side, keeping Rival Esports aware to Maori's presence. Look at Chaos here, lurking behind Mel's here, buys it as well, captures the blue star, and Maori's about to run straight to Milkrayo. Double super, might even get a third, getting valuable hills there from Chaos. Well, look at this, a Grom bomb comes in. The blue star is the only thing keeping Reply Totem here afloat.
Yeah, Chaos got the super just in time. Maru on this right-hand side might be picked off by these two players here. Slowed down, but Mori goes in, and no help on the backside. One shot, and hypercharge used by Milkrayo to come and help his teammate out and gets them the lead. Maru falls too, and Rival extend.
Chaos must have felt absolutely useless. If he had range, he had two easy, straightforward shots to land. But as a dog, he's so limited. And now our Reply Totem have got to get a very good pinch together at just the right time. They can't really get behind the dog either. They've got to stay separate and come together at just the right time while staying on their feet, under pressure. It's a tough thing.
More gadgets to expend as well. Rival have dealt with them a lot better this game. Chaos providing the heals, not where he wants to be in this point in time. 20 seconds on the clock, and Rival Esports sitting pretty healthy at the moment. Totem starting to aggress now. The unfriendly bushes goes through, but only affects one member of Reply Totem. Backed into a corner as Totem start to aggress. Still 6 seconds on the clock. Tight Chaos goes in. The super from Mori. They get it done, but the trade, and he survives. All so low, but Rival equal it.
Everyone was down and ready to be taken out, but no one fell. Rival Esports did phenomenal there to hold their ground. So much pressure from Reply Totem. To their credit, they got that push right, but they just couldn't seal it. As we go in now, whoever takes this game will be one set ahead. Shulo Milkrayo low as well, but again, the survivability continues in Rival's favor. This dunk pick not able to help out as nearly as much as Reply Totem need.
Mirror image from the first game as Rival Esports start to take a more healthy lead, second by second. Chaos using that super. Milkrayo's just going to wait him out, try get some help from his teammates to be able to secure the kill after that super's gone. It is 5-0, and Totem have a lot of work to do.
Melty will drop the base and go straight to the skies, tapping into Maru, finding our Chaos as well, and that's going to bring a great deal of awareness to Rival here. Chaos getting some heals over. Maru is in a very nice spot. He might go in here. He's found both players. He will do just that. He gets the gadget. He gets the player. Milkrayo's the last one standing. He's got the HP, but Rival Esports are now behind. It's Reply Totem, ready for the hills.
Dream position for Totem. They needed the lead, and that's what they have. Unfriendly bushes come through. Who are they going to try and pick off? Chaos quite low, as well as Maru Mori in the same situation. Here comes the super. Maru affected by N2, drop down. Just Mori alive. 40 seconds between Rival and 2 sets.
A 4-star lead for Rival Esports and more gadgets placed down. That, however, is the last. Going to be surviving only on Melty now on his super. Maori got his drill, going to be coming in at just the right time as well. Everyone low, but Milkrayo is going aggressive on Chaos, going aggressive on Maru as well, but Maori gets some stars. They are still behind by 2, but they find Melty, and that is enough to go on the retreat.
5 for Mori, 10 seconds, and Rival Esports need stars. Still ticking down. Maru steps out. Chaos coming aggressive. Can he be picked up? Super in hand as well, and they add more. 16-10. And Totem go up.
The room is falling off this arena as we speak. As Reply Totem fans take the stand. A really commendable comeback. I was very, very worried for them there. They had to get that right, and it was not an easy thing to make happen. The communication really, really had to be on point for a lot of these pushes to make sure that the aggression was there, but combining it also with just calculation. Again, that same old story from that first game through to the third for Rival Esports. Once the utility was down, they were down for the count. Reply Totem could have faltered.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
So low in that second game. Everything could have been different, but what a play by Mori, and what plays, I should say, by Mori in this third game. Coming away with 5 stars in the end of it. Managed to get Melty picked up there as well and get the retreat and the win for Reply Totem. In terms of stars, or kills I should say, Chaos was 7. So much for being one of the worst brawls in the game, because here, he proved his worth.
A number of times I did feel like if it had been another brawler, there could have been more to the tally, let's be honest. But that additional healing really did play a valuable role. And just keeping everyone afloat, being able to go on the aggressive in correlation to that. I mean, I know that Snake Prairie for some of the community is not their favorite, and I'm sure for some of the players, well, not necessarily theirs. But I found that very entertaining, I can't lie.
Love it. I love a bit of Snake Prairie. I will argue with anybody on that statement as well. Out in the open on Knockout could be our deciding game, as Reply Totem just 1 set away from victory and the semi-finals. But Rival Esports will need 2 on the trot if they want to be able to get themselves that next round ahead.
And I can vouch, you have always loved Snake Prairie. You know, it's not just words. I've known you a long time and you've always said the same thing. Right then, bans are in. The first pick of Gene for Reply Totem, the bans, the Kenji, the Brock, and the Nanny. For Rival Esports, the Piper, the Angelo, and the Gus. Gus ban, really quite an underrated one, but one that I think is very much necessary here. Gonna leave open some heavy hitters still for me. I like the Pearl pick later on down the lines to combine with that Gene. Might be on the idea there for Reply Totem. But certainly some long range available. RT springs immediately to mind as one of those that could be on the cards for Rival Esports. And a second follow-up still to come, but good on both sides so far.
Yeah, I mean, Pearl, it's a great shout. It fends off tanks and pairs well with that Gene as well. So either side could be pretty happy to pick up that brawler, I'd say. Got that decent mid-range. They're going to go with the Bell, however. Want to take the sharpshooter route, and obviously bouncing in these kind of later stages or early stages reveals where they are in the bushes and keeps players low. I really like that brawler. Mark up some tanks, and it makes it a lot easier too if that's the route Reply Totem go.
Reply Totem fans stomping in the arena at the moment is causing a bit of an earthquake here on the casting desk, and I love it. I really do love it. When the brawl community get rowdy is what I live for, Trav. Let's see what they're thinking. Maru in deep thought there, and it is gonna be that Pearl combo. I really do like it here on Out in the Open. But certainly it does really come into some troubles against a Buster. They're gonna be going with the Byron to get the heals in, but for me, if I'm Rival Esports, go with the Buster. It's gonna be really, really hard for Reply Totem to go on the aggressive when they've got that charging their way forwards.
But also, even if they do just take another long-range brawler, they've kind of got the lead in at the range as well. You know, against the Pearl, who doesn't really do that much at range, and Byron, who's more of a healer than a damage dealer at range. It's definitely not a worst of shouts to go with something like that, and it is going to be the Eve. I don't love it, I don't hate it. Obviously, the ability to walk over the water gives you a bit of an advantage over the left-hand side early on. But, you know, if you can get that broken up with a Pearl Super or something like that, then that could work too.
Going to play well into the Byron. Certainly that's going to be where those kind of hatchlings are going to be causing some trouble for Reply Totem. Keeping the Bell shooting, the Pearl shooting as well is going to keep that overcooked low. So it's going to be a troublesome brawler, actually, for Reply Totem on some level. But I still just love this Gene Pearl combo and the value that you can get from the Vision Gear. I think for Rival Esports, they do have to heavily consider that Pearl pick and whether they go on the aggressive quickly to try to eradicate it.
Well, slow off the start for both teams here, just trying to kind of pepper each other down. A little reverse polarity from Melty. Will go bouncing around the map, but not find anybody just yet. A Byron shot connects with Shu, and he does have to retreat back over that water. Maru trying to make the most of this burn down damage from the gadget, but didn't find anything from it.
Nice gadget there from Melty. Does find Maru, who has the shield now, but certainly not in the best of spots at the moment on the back lines there in the bush, but now pushing their way forwards. It's like Chaos getting some nice taps there. From that top right, shoot down to 1,300 HP there. Maru there pops a nice overcooked, and Melty might even burn down here, going to survive just about, but forced back. He's got to land this mark, and Maru would be an ideal target, but Maori keeps up the aggression, keeping him low.
Yeah, Chaos Tap's doing so much. Melty starting to be able to heal, but that's cut short. Milcreo so low. Shu the only one really with some decent HP, but that's not going to matter either. As Reply Totem take this first round 3 players up to the 0 of Rival.
Maori has the pull as well. Now, can hunker down, supply some nice healing along the way. Try and secure Melty before he gets the mark off onto Maru. Milcreo is definitely a hazard that Maru would like to avoid. If they've got the support, an ideal person to get rid of early now. Here comes the overcooks from Maru, and big, heavy taps on that left-hand side. We can go 3 versus 2. Chaos bouncing his tasks into the mid, keeping Melty low. Magic hand from Maori. The Reply Totem are making it look so straight forward. The game is there, and it's now match point.
6 kills to the 0 of Rival Esports. Something needs to change if you want to see a set 5, because 2 games in a row have to be theirs to be able to fend off Reply Totem and take them to a set number 5. Well, so far, it's all Totem caught off guard by Maru twice, and that was the entry to both of those games.
Certainly a great deal of pressure now. Maori low, goes down. Nice hacks gadget there from Milcreo to secure it. Low himself. Will he fall to here? Like House going for Shu, but that might be enough. He might fall down himself here. Milcreo surviving on. I guess falls down to Maru, just going to try to earn a super right Shum here. Can't really do much more, doesn't want to feed, but the gas still so far away. He'll fall now, and around goes the way of Rival.
Rival aren't done yet. Eve Hatchling's going to be available as well when Shu wants to bring them in. Might be able to gain some ground from that against Chaos too. But Maury's pinch is there early on. They're now thrown down and evading these shots nicely. Vengeful Spirits only shoots 1 out. But Shu not in the best of positions and forced to jump away. Now the Hatchlings come in and Rivals just gain some ground.
Another Hatchling, not really that much of an issue for Maori. Maru is forced back, however. That Melty mark again still needs to find its place. Being very patient in that regard on the side of Rival. Oh, look at this. Intense scrutiny there. And Shu will fall. He'll burn down in the middle of the jump. Maru coming in now, keeping Milcreo back. And it's a prime opportunity for Reply Totem to strike. Missed magic hand from Maori. It's an unusual sight to see.
Yeah, Melty goes down and Milcreo should be following shortly after, unless he can pull off the most miraculous 1v3 I've ever seen. Trying not to feed that gene pull. Ends up feeding a good amount of Maru's super instead. 1 round now is all Totem need.
This round for a place in tomorrow's semi-finals. For Reply Totem, this is a huge moment that Milcreo might have survived, 789 HP, and Maru's going to continue to push his left-hand side. Got to be tread cautiously here. Rival Esports are pushed into a corner now, and when you're in a corner, you can bite back hard.
Hypercharge available for Melty. Gonna be able to get that increase move. Oh, pull comes in, gets on Shu, but he's not dead yet. Gets some good shots in. Melty starts to bounce out. He gets 1 and evens the score. Splash comes through, and Milcreo gets hit. Totem on the brink of semis.
Just 1 more takedown, and Reply Totem will have done it. Melty is the sole survivor of Rival Esports, and fighting for his life. Maori now showing him up, again with that vision gear. It's just a matter of time, surely, for Chaos and Maori to secure what they need to do. The gas now coming in, they've got the heals as well. It's surely gonna go their way if they can just secure Melty.
Gas comes in, shots being hit, Melty goes down, and Reply Totem go on.
Boys in green leave their rival in the dust, and a green light to the semi-finals. A trying year, if not the most trying year this organization has seen in Brawl Esports history, but they are trending up their biggest test yet. And a 3-1 scoreline is how their quarterfinals goes. We have got, Trav, 3 teams from EMEA in the semi-finals. That is ridiculous.
But EMEA's biggest kryptonite is there with them. Crazy Raccoon also making it that far. The APAC counterparts of Rival Esports, Reply Totem have knocked one out. Now going to be looking forward to try and take down APAC in entirety. But what great gameplay this was from Reply Totem. Pure brilliance all the way through this series.
What a pull there from Maori as well. Such a difficult brawler to land it on with the gotta go gadget on the Eve side of things. You know, you can dupe that accordingly. And even there, you know, the pressure can get to some, even the very best in the world there. You know you've got a straightforward opportunity to secure it, but sometimes it just takes a little moment of weakness and a little bit of getting over carried away to really cause a huge fumble. But they look so confident. That's what makes Reply Totem a really scary team. As the number 6 seed from EMEA, the lowest seed, gotta reiterate that. 3 quarterfinals exits, 1 monthly final which they didn't even qualify for. And then LCQ came around. Like, whatever they were doing behind the scenes to ensure they were prepared for LCQ